everyone. This is going to be a quick training, but a very important training. Okay. Now, this course right here is really a free course. This is something that I'm putting together as I go along so that we all are learning together. I'm learning some things, but I'm also going to teach you whatever it is that I learned on this journey of entrepreneurship or solopreneurship. Okay. Now, mine's is solopreneurship. Some of you may want to go into entrepreneurship where you actually, you know, have other people that work with you. Either way it go, you're on your own and you're the boss. And so some of the things that I thought about was the amount of work we put in on our first 90 days on our job. Reason being is because we want to show people that we can do the job. You want to see if you're a smart one, you want to see if you like the job. You want to see if you like your boss. You want to see if you can really handle some of the things that they're going to be putting out to you. This is the time where you can see whether you are in a toxic situation or whether your boss is narcissistic, whether you're going to have a micromanager or whatever, okay? You're going to find it out in those first 90 days. One of my biggest things was I did used to look at that and, they try to, butter you up and keep them love bum you during this time. But usually it's the first 30 days that they're really trying to butter you up and trying to keep you there. But the 90 days you need to look at usually is during that time. And then sometimes, you get bamboozled. You might be doing a good job, but then you got some shady employers that will let you go after those 90 days so that they don't have to give you benefits in some cases. They don't have to give you the amount of money because sometimes they give you a pay raise. Depending on where you work, they'll give you a pay raise once you get past that 90 days. But my point is that they give you those, that's kind of like your trial period to see if you like the position, if you like your boss and all those type of things. And that's what I'm suggesting that you do when you decide that you want to be a solopreneur. Give yourself that 90 days. I mean, you gave it to your employer all this time, and every employer you work for, you gave them at least 90 days. You worked your butt off those 90 days. So what you want to do is give yourself that same respect by just going in and start doing some of the things that you know is going to be impressive. Not only that to yourself, but also you gave yourself that real, try to do the solopreneur or entrepreneurship venture for yourself. So during that 90 days, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are still training. You're training yourself just like you do when you on the jobs that you get now. You're going to put yourself in training. And then during this time, give yourself a little slack. If you don't, pass everything, or if everything that you don't make a whole lot of money, or maybe you don't make any money, but you get a chance to put a foundation there for your business. Okay. So you say to yourself, hey, okay, I'm going to steal the model that they have always put out there. In that first 30 days, you're always usually training, even during the 90 days, depending on how, sometimes it's 6 months, but I'm telling you, give yourself at least the 90 days. Okay. Now, during this 90 days, you, of course, are going to be responsible for, paying your bills and things like that. So again, you want to make sure you have enough money, enough funds. If you're doing this, solo without your job, without a job, then you want to make sure that you have those things taken care of so you can fully focus on your creativity, your talents, the thing that really gives you that passion to want to do it. And this is the time where you're really going to put your best foot forward, because this is your business. This is what you're wanting to do. This is what you're investing your time in. And this is what you're telling the world that, hey, this is what I'm going to do. Now, will you be rich within the 90 days? No, but you should be able to see a potential of your business, okay? And don't get discouraged even after the 90 days. There have been times where people stayed on the job even though they weren't doing well, but then about 6 months from there they were doing really well, and it was because of the foundation that they actually put together during those first 90 days. Okay, so during those 90 days you want to have a mentor, you want to have someone that you can talk to during those 90 days. You also, because remember, when you're in training, if we're still in their model, right? When you're in, a lot of the model that they put together was really psychological and all those type of things. And because we have been on that model for years and years and years, why not just take it and make things a little bit easier for you to just do your own business? Okay. So during that 90 days, while you're training, you're conditioning yourself, you need someone to kind of help you through that. Just like if you were doing a new job, you would need a person that's going to be there to train you, to help you through. That's where life coaches and business coaches like myself come in at, to help you through those first 90 days of you owning and operating your business. I can tell you, like, or they, anybody that you want to get can tell you the real deal. Okay. Because once you, a lot of times you get all of this love bombing when you first get in the company, and then the real deal comes in when you get right there on the sales floor. Well, you can actually do that with your business. And when you have a life coach, or you have someone helping you, it's not as bad as a shock when you actually get out there. Okay. And you do need that encouragement. You do need to know that, hey, just because you didn't get that first sale, just because you didn't have this, is because you didn't have the experience yet. Okay. And listening to all of these different videos on here where people are talking about they're millionaires, you got to understand that that is not the norm. That is actually above the norm. And a lot of them are really, really successful because of the fact that they got lucky a lot of times. Okay. It's just like with any other sales job, any job that you get. But does that mean that you won't make money? Well, you will definitely make money. But what I'm saying is, all these people that are saying that I'm a billionaire, millionaire, and all this stuff, they're not telling you how long it took them to actually do it. And it definitely wasn't in 90 days. Now, some of them mention it, but we kind of sometimes don't listen to them when they say, oh yeah, well, it took me like 7 years, or I've been on here for 7 years, and this, that, and the other. They don't tell you what happened in those first 90 days. They don't tell you about the failures that they've had. Like, they may have failed at least about 7 times before they actually made those millions. No one is talking about these things. And in fact, this video is probably going to be buried, because a lot of the videos are buried where you don't get a chance to see or hear some of the people that are really telling you the truth. Now, I'd rather have people tell me the truth about entrepreneurship, about solopreneurship, than to lie to me and have me work in that, or try to be an entrepreneur or a solopreneur with minimal skills, and don't have really the idea of what really goes on when you are working for yourself. So some of the main things that you're going to find out is, because you were conditioned with your 9 to 5, you always had somebody watching over you. You always had somebody holding you accountable. You always had somebody, you had to get up. You had to do the things that you needed to do to get going. This is why it's important for people that's coming off of that 9 to 5 into the entrepreneurship to have a mentor, to have somebody that's going to hold them accountable. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you. Now, some of us don't need it. Some of us got that, get up and go about themselves. But where you would actually still need a coach, or a life coach, or a business coach, is because you need that extra motivation. Okay. You need to know what to do next. You need to have a blueprint of what you need to do. Okay. Not anybody telling you what to do, but you need to learn from their experiences, so you don't continue to make the same, or you just don't go that long, hard route and wind up not understanding, or working on something so hard over here that's not important. Okay. It's not important. And we did this on jobs before, right? You worked on stuff for a long time only to find out that your manager don't give a crap about what you've been working on, and this over here was way more important. So you wouldn't know that just coming in. You would have to find that out. You would find out that, okay, maybe doing sending out all these affiliate marketing things right away is going to be what I need to do, or making your company a LLC when you really don't have any money. You're going to spend a whole bunch of time on that, which that's not important at the time. Getting your first sale in the door is probably more important than you making it an LLC. Now, once you get the money start flowing, then yes, you should start thinking about putting it as an LLC, taking it out of sole proprietorship, and all those type of things. You also, there are things that you probably think you need to work on right away, but you won't know that because you are just coming in. You're just looking at a lot of people that has already did this. So you're looking at a finished product. Okay. It's just like looking at a cake without tasting it, thinking that you understood what actually went into that. You're looking at the beautiful cake, and then maybe you taste it, but you don't know what all went into that cake. You don't know what that person went through to make that cake. You don't know anything about that. And what I'm telling you is that what a life coach, a business coach, a mentor, or something to that effect will help you with is understanding what went behind you baking and making that cake. Okay. So that's the main thing that you want to give yourself during that 90 days. Now, also during that 90 days, you want to train. You want to train on everything that there is about what it is that you want to do. You also want to narrow it down because there's going to be so many different things. As an entrepreneur, as a solopreneur, we have so many different talents, so much creativity in us that we can scatter our focus. And our focus may need to be on one thing that we know we do great. Okay. One or two things. It doesn't have to be one thing. One or two things that we know that we do absolutely wonderful, and hone in on that, and then add to that. Okay. Now, do you need to have a website? Depends on what you're trying to do. I would say always get a website, a landing page, because if you're going to be doing this, you want someone to buy something from you. So how are they going to buy it from you if they don't have a landing page or a place to do it? So you need a landing page, you need a website, you need all of these things to get started. Now, I know how to help you get that website going. I know what to do to help you with getting traffic to that website. You just can't have a website because there are many, many hundreds and thousands of websites out there. There's absolutely no traffic or anything going to that website for a reason, because they don't know how to set it up. I didn't know how to set it up. I had a lot of websites that, they're probably still floating out there somewhere. and I didn't know how to get traffic to them. YouTube is one of the search engines that you can actually use for marketing tools that you can actually use, but there are so many, 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 many more ways to get free traffic going to your website. Okay. Now, I suggest anybody that is going to do an online business, solopreneurship, is to get a YouTube channel. Not because I want you to have subscribers and all this type of thing, but what it does, and good if you do get subscribers, because what it does is it holds you accountable as well, because it's going to make you get up out of your bed. It's going to make you get in front of your camera, because you have people that you don't want to let down. Okay. And you don't want to let your subscribers down, so you will get in front of that camera. You will do some videos and you will show up. Okay. I mean, that's if you have a strong sense of, and most entrepreneurs and solopreneurs, they have a strong sense of responsibility. We are responsible. That's why we know that we can be wonderful entrepreneurs. So we will show up because we know that this is what people are counting on us. So when you know that you have, even if you only have 5 subscribers, you know that those 5 subscribers are counting on you to lead them in the right way, or give them some nuggets, or give them, or just talk to them. Some people just want to be entertained, and that's just about it. Okay. So those are some of the things that I do. I wanted to make sure that I ran across you guys today. I may do another series on this 90-day probation. I'm going to put together a whole 90-day step-by-step that you need to do within those 90 days, and exactly what you need to do during those 90 days, so that you're not working on something that doesn't, that you don't need to do at this particular time. And you're working on things that are actually relevant during those 90 days. I've had plenty of jobs where I was working on things that, like I said, my manager could care less about, that particular thing I was working on. It was also good to check in with people that have did this before. What should you be putting together? What should you be doing? And you need some trusted people around you that understand your goals, okay? Because that's another thing where a mentor or a life coach or a business coach comes in at, like myself. They're sitting down talking to you. What are your goals? What is it that you want to do? How do you want to do it? And let's work on this together, okay? So what you may feel like is not an investment, it is definitely an investment in somebody else's knowledge, okay? And understanding that person does have some knowledge. So if you don't want to do a one-on-one, that's fine, because I'm going to be doing all of these classes, but they're going to be, trickled out, because I can only do so much between my one-on-ones that I have with other people. Then I do these courses on here, because I do want everybody to actually get this. But this may not be tailored to your situation. This is just going to be kind of generalized. Your situation may be different. We have people that have children. We have people that have a spouse. We have to, these are all different situations. You may have a job that you want to keep while you're doing this as a side hustle. You may have just gotten fired. You may have just gotten hired. All of these situations bring in different type of scenarios. So your situation is going to be tailored toward you when you do a one-on-one. Now, I'm doing a one-on-one with someone right now. Their situation is totally different than anybody else's out here, but we're putting together I've already put together a wonderful plan, and this person is going to do that 90-day probation, see how things are going to work, and then go from there. Okay. Now, that's basically what the one-on-one is going to be about, putting together that 90-day probation for you, so that you'll know what to do. Even if you're working, you need to understand what you need to be doing in those 90 days. And once you put that 90 days together, I guarantee you're going to have a solid idea of whether you want to be an entrepreneur, or you're going to have a solid idea of whether you want to be an entrepreneur selling whatever product. You may find out during the 90 days that, this is not going to work. You know what I'm saying? Or you may find out in the 90 days that this is absolutely wonderful, and I'm so glad I put this 90 days together. And now that I put this 90 days together, I can start bringing some money in, and then start working on this little by little, because you've already put the foundation together. Now you can trickle into that as you continue to work your job, as you continue to do whatever it is that you need to do in your life. You know what you need to be working on, and not everything else. Okay. So when you don't have the guidance to understand that, you work on stuff that is not necessary. I did it for a long time, worked on a lot of stuff, worked on websites that didn't have anything to do with what I was doing, waste a whole bunch of time. Okay. And what you're doing is when you waste time with all of that, is you just wasting time. You're slowing yourself up for actually really making money when you can be making money. Okay. So that's what I have for you guys. I want to thank you so much. If you're interested in doing a one-on-one with me, that'd be great. If not, I am going to be putting a 90-day program, 90-day probation up here. So look out for that. Thank you guys.